like a history being made here. They'll say it all started in her kitchen.
Oh, did you fix Manny's?
I think, well, she restarted it. I don't know if it fixed her or not. It says offline. Oh, it's starting. Okay.
Oh my God.
So when she sees herself, that'll be...
You're fine.
Just don't move. Don't.
Now, you don't have to see anything until it says people are watching, right? Since right now it says 0 watching.
Yeah.
So.
You are live, Graham. See, that's you.
Oh my God.
So this is being recorded, and later on, if we want, we can save it, and then people would see it. But we can always... Can we take it down offline and then edit it, and then put it back up, or no?
No, well, we can...
Well, you could
Yeah,
download
you
it.
can download it, yeah.
You could.
And then
But
edit it?
they would know it wouldn't be live. It would just be like a video.
It's not live.
No, but I mean, like, if...
What?
Just as, like, if, say, at the beginning you said something you didn't like, but then later
Yeah.
on you
You
liked
can
it.
do stream highlights.
What?
You can do stream highlights.
Stream
You
highlights?
can make a compilation and cut out all the bad parts.
I'm gonna go on Graham's.
Yeah, I'm going to log into it.
Oh my God.
Just relax, Graham.
There's
It's
no
fine.
one watching
There's
it.
No one's watching it. You can just relax and have your coffee.
Is there one person? What did you write?
No.
Oh, hi, Angie. LG. Aw! Is that my mom? No, LD?
Someone
LG?
watching?
Why does it say 0 watching?
I don't know. Well, we know
LD.
LD is watching.
Why is it spinning, bud?
Buffering, Jonas.
It's buffering.
Is that okay?
Is it because
It's
you're
fine.
logged in?
Yeah, there's one... No. No, I wouldn't.
No, you should
Say hi.
say hi, LD.
Hi, LD.
How are you?
This is the first time I'm doing this, so I hope I don't do anything wrong. I'm trying to find all my subscribers. I hope they come on so I can say hi.
Oh, hello, Miss Angie.
Who's that now?
Ty Bullard.
Hi.
You have to say hi to this person, this name.
I can't see.
It says Ty Bullard.
Hi, Ty Bullard.
Aw, she said, I'm happy to see you. I love your video. You'll be fine.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
Welcome to the stream. Love your smile.
My grandchildren think I can do this, but I don't think so.
You're doing it, Graham.
You're doing it.
Okay.
Someone said love your smile.
So you can ask them if they have any questions for
Do you have any questions you want to ask about cooking?
or whatever, you know.
Or not baking. I don't bake. My daughter-in-law and my granddaughter are here. You can ask them, not me.
5 people watching. 5 people.
Now, how do I find it if I don't have a notification?
Just
So I just search for cooking.
This is all new to me, so bear with me. I'm okay in the kitchen cooking, but not this. This is very strange.
Ask them if they made any of your recipes.
Has anyone made any of my recipes that they like? They want to ask questions or give comments or anything they didn't like? I'd like all comments. Not mean comments. I don't like mean comments. A couple of people gave me some real mean comments, and I was very sad.
LD said, I made your meatballs. They were amazing.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm so
she said,
happy.
keep the videos coming.
I'll try. My granddaughter has one in the works. It'll be coming out. It is, can I say what it is?
Yeah.
It's a fennel and orange salad that I make every Christmas Eve, and everyone loves it. So she's working on it now. She's been busy, but she's going to put that through.
Ask them what they want to see next.
Are there any videos? Can you make any suggestions? Within reason, please. Any suggestions that you want to see me cook? I'm usually pretty good, but there's certain things I'm not that good at. So try me out. See what you want. I'm good at soups and sauces, gravies. I just found a new recipe. I might put that on video because it seems very simple and very tasty. So once I have that down pat, I'll
I'm going to post on Facebook.
post that on Facebook. And I hope I don't look too old.
LD says, any seafood recipes, please.
Well, LD seafood recipes, I do the 7 fishes on Christmas Eve. And it would be a little hard for me to compact all that into one video. But I've also made the baked clams, which we do. I've made the bacala salad, which we do. And the fennel salad, which will be coming out. And if there's any more, I guess we can do.
What other things you do on Christmas Eve? Why don't you tell me
Well,
about
we
that?
make a seafood platter.
Someone
is
asked
what?
for basil pomodoro calzone.
Calzone, I do make calzones.
Someone
From
asked,
scratch? Wow.
Someone asked if you could make one of those.
A calzone?
Yeah.
Because if you watch my recipe on my pizza dough, it's the same dough. You would only use that, cut that open, and put pepperoni and mozzarella in there, some grated cheese. Make sure you seal it properly, and bake it in the oven. It's the same dough as the pizza dough.
We could do a video.
Yeah, so we can do a video separate if you like. My granddaughter just informed me. They feel I have a lot of time.
It's your channel, Graham. You could do whatever you want.
Yes. Yeah, calzone I've made. I've made homemade bread. When my children were young, they used to come home from school. I'd make homemade bread for
I
them.
used to make Easter bread, too.
I used to
All
make
about
Easter bread. But like I said, Easter bread is like almost baking to me. And
How about pizza rustica?
pizza rustica is already on my video. But my son wanted me to make, but I don't think I'll have time before Easter because they're going away. I make a sweet pie for Easter with rice and ricotta and eggs. And it's very good. But I don't think they'll have time because they're going on vacation. But maybe when they come back, I'll do that. That'll be my next video.
Did you have your pizza dough recipe?
Yes.
All right, so someone said, okay, thanks, we'll go to your pizza dough recipe.
Yeah, I have a pizza dough recipe. And like I said, basic baking, cooking to me is very basic. It's what you like. If you like more garlic, less garlic. That's why I don't really care for baking, because baking has to be precise, which my daughter informs me every baking time we have. But cooking is what you like. It's a matter of less, more, better. So is there anything you like to know about cooking that I can answer for you?
Do you have any tips for beginner cooks?
Tips? Start small. You know, like start with pastas, basic sauces, salads, vegetables, and pasta. Anything like that is simple. And then later on you can go to roasts. When I first got married, and this is sad for me to say, I would call my mom to ask her how to do a recipe, and then I'd hang up the phone. She was one of the best cooks that ever lived. And I'd hang up the phone and I would say, she didn't know what she was saying, and I'd do it my way. Well, my poor husband got an ulcer in about 6 months of us being married. So I certainly learned quickly to listen.
How did you learn after that?
Well, I started, like my mother would always tell me, less is better, less is more. Don't put a lot. So that's how I learned to cook.
Someone asked, what is your favorite meal?
My favorite meal is very basic. I like chicken. I like a roasted chicken. I love baked potatoes. A nice vegetable like broccoli rabe or escarole.
Ooh, escarole and beans.
Escarole and beans. I really don't like anything too
Fancy.
heavy with the sauces and things. I like crispy cooked things. So chicken would have to be really crispy. The skin, I'm sorry to say, I love the skin. That's a nice little steak once in a while, a pork chop. Things like that. I like things like that. Nothing too elaborate.
Kester says, hi, I love you. Will you adopt me? I know you're a blessing to us and your family. I made your stuffed clams, and they were so yummy. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I'm only 39. I look good for 39. I'm going to be 77, honey.
Look here when you talk.
Now, who is that asked me?
Kester Lowers.
Hi, Kester.
And she said you're a blessing, and she liked the stuffed clams a lot.
Oh,
so that's good.
That's one of my family's favorites. And we have Christmas Eve at my son and daughter-in-law's home. And this last Christmas, we had 26 people. And I made 119 clams, Lisa.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and they were all gone. And that's not the only thing we make. We make a lot of stuff. But they love the baked clams.
How many people were at Christmas? It was
26.
26 people and 119 clams.
119 clams. But we had shrimp. We make shrimp. And my daughter-in-law doesn't allow me to fry anymore.
There's scallops.
We make scallops. We make baked scallops, baked shrimp. You know, maybe one day, Lisa, we can buy a smaller amount of what we make Christmas Eve, and we can put them on. We can make that for show our Christmas Eve dinner.
Like a mini version.
A mini version, yeah.
Someone also asked, how do you cook broccolini?
Broccolini.
Well, first of all, how do you like? What is broccolini, and how do you pick it, and then how do you cook
Well, broccolini is, I guess, a baby form of broccoli. It's a longer version. It has a stem. It's very tender. And what I do is I put a little olive oil in the pan, sliced sliver garlic. You don't want it to burn, so keep the gas very low. And I put a little pepper flakes. If you don't like hot stuff, you don't have to put it. And then you put your broccolini in and steam it a little bit. And then you can also add a little white wine if you want a different flavor. And that's basically it. A little salt and pepper. Very simple. Very delicious. You can put lemon juice and make it as a salad with some olive oil, fresh squeezed lemon juice. That's a nice side dish. Yes. But broccolini is quite expensive. And it's very hard to find. There's a lot of stores that don't carry it. But I love it. That's one of my favorite vegetables. Broccoli rabe is an Italian vegetable. You either love it or hate it. And my daughter-in-law, the first time she came to my home, I made it, and I didn't think she was going to eat it. And she said, I'm going to try it. And now that's one of her favorite vegetables. She loves it. So.
And that's not how you knew she was a good girl. Right?
I knew I was going to love her, yes.
You gotta tell the whole story.
I have to tell the whole story. My daughter-in-law is one in a million. I love her. We get along beautiful. And the first time she came for dinner, I'm from the old school, so when your husband asks you to get up and get something, you do it. So my husband had asked me to get up and get some salt, and then my son had asked me to get up and get something, and I jumped up, as I usually always did, and my future daughter-in-law said, is there anything wrong with anybody else that you keep getting up? And I said, I know I'm going to love her.
She's stuck up for you.
She's going to be fine. But that's the way we were raised.
So some people are saying, my mom wishes she was there for the clams you made. I'm coming for Sunday dinner. I know your gravy is awesome. I can eat and make extra.
Of course. I would love to have everybody. I love cooking. And that's my favorite thing to do.
LD said, ooh, broccolini sounds great. It was on sale this week.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Good. You can use broccoli, regular broccoli. That's fine. Anything made with garlic and oil, you can't go wrong, or fresh squeezed lemon juice.
So that's what you mean when you say simple ingredients?
Yes, simple. Very simple. And I like things not cooked that much. I like things almost crunchy. But if you like it cooked more, then put the lid on your pan and let it saute and cook down. And you can also, what a very good trick is, if you want vegetables not to taste bitter, to add vegetable broth if you're vegan, and you can add chicken broth. Whenever you add broth to something, it almost tenderizes whatever you're making. So that's a good trick. If you feel something is too bitter, add some chicken broth to it and it'll come out very good.
Is that how you do for Brussels sprouts too?
Yeah, anything that you want to minimize that bitterness, just add some broth. I always keep boxes of vegetable and chicken broth in my house. That's a good thing to have. I appreciate everybody calling me. This is so cute. This is the first time I'm doing it, and I'm a little nervous. I'm hoping I don't come across too bad.
Oh, LD said, I like crispy too. I love to cook with broth in my veggies.
Yes.
Very cute.
See, what I do now, I just have a new recipe. I don't want to give it to you yet because I have to taste it and see if it came good. But I just got a new recipe that's very simple, and I think it's going to be very tasty. And it's something vegan, so my granddaughter I know will eat it.
Do I know it? You
No, I just made it. I don't want to talk about it yet.
Oh, spoilers! Secret upcoming preview.
You're going to have to watch the video, Angela.
Oh, even I have to wait to watch
That's
the video.
correct.
Okay. Where are you guys from? Do you have any other questions or?
That's my granddaughter.
Grandma wants to connect with her subscribers.
Yes, I'm so proud to be doing this.
She didn't answer my question yet.
Oh, we didn't
What's
answer
your
what
question?
Well, you said that you weren't always a good cook. You didn't even pay attention when your mother cooked, but you gradually learned, and you weren't actually very good in the beginning.
No, it was
So
terrible.
my question was, what was the first meal that you made that you were like, wow, I'm a cook now. I made something really good. I'm proud of this meal. Do you remember a meal like that?
I really don't remember when my cooking became edible. I know that my poor husband had an ulcer after we were married for 6 months.
But that's good for people to know that you weren't always a good
Oh,
cook
no.
and you were
No,
you were
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
LD said I'm in Southern California.
Oh,
wow.
God bless.
Very cool.
bad.
Nice to hear from everybody. This is so special to me. How this even started, if you want to know how this even started, Christmas Eve, like I said, I do the 7 fishes, and it's a tradition from way back. And my son, one of his favorite things in the whole world is bacala salad. And I was explaining it to him, and he said, Mom, I don't want to be mean or cruel, but if something happens to you, we won't know how to do this. So I'm gonna tape this as you do it. And that's how this started, and just went over and over, and every time they'd ask me for a recipe, I'd put it on, and that's how this went across. And now I'm very happy to have done it, because my grandson, if you can watch from the first video to now, he's 5, 10 and a half. I'm going to kill him. He towers over me, but he was a little bit of a thing, and he would be stirring everything. He would love to help me. So this is something that'll go on long after I'm gone, and they can do it. It makes me very proud. My granddaughter, too. They love to help me.
So LD said she's from Southern California, and Tai Tai said she's in North Georgia.
That's so nice. It's so nice to hear from everybody.
That's great.
I wish there was something else. My children also want me to do. I've had a very different life. I have stories upon stories of my life, and some are laughable and some are sad. And they've always asked me to say that in either book form or video. And what happens to me is I start to say to them, and then I start to cry. But someday, if this works out, I would love to have that on, that, things that have happened in my life. Like I said, happy things. And everyone has tragedy and happiness in their life. And you work through your tragedy. You learn. Hopefully you learn lessons. And you grow. And you learn from all the bad things that happen.
That's beautiful. Tammy said, where are you from, Angie?
I'm originally from the Bronx. I was born here. My mother and father came from Italy and brought my 4-year-old sister. It was just the 2 of us.
She came when she was pregnant with you, right?
No, she became pregnant when she came to New York, to the Bronx. She became pregnant right away. And my sister and I are 4 years apart.
And you moved to New Jersey when?
I moved to New Jersey when I was married and had 2 children. Mm-hmm. My husband felt he wanted them to live in the suburbs. And I cried because I was going to leave all my friends and my father, but I adapted and I was fine. Nice. I had the best parents. They were old school. My mother was a little tough cookie. I didn't mess with her. My father was an angel. He never yelled at me. He was such a special man. But my mother, if she said come home at 3, and it was 1 minute after, you might as well not come home. You were in deep trouble.
You want to tell the story about the pancakes?
Yes. She believed in discipline, but she would always tell me when I got hit, she would always say, I'm doing this because I love you. And sometimes I had that little fresh mouth, and I'd say, boy, you must really love me because I'm really getting hit. But
what was that story with the girl with the pancakes?
There was a girl, my granddaughter wants me to tell this story. When I was in 3rd grade, this girl asked me to go to her house for pancakes. And I never thought that I was going to be late to come home. I was supposed to be home by 3. And as I'm eating the pancakes, I happened to look up at the clock and saw that it was almost 4, and I said, oh, I'm a dead person. So I asked this girl to come home with me, figuring she would be the buffer in front of me. And when my mother saw me, she almost died. She thought something happened to me. But
she was afraid.
I got such a lesson.
Yeah.
And that girl never came back. She saw me.
LB said your mother did a great job raising you.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
And Tai Tai said, it's very important to share these treasures, and we love to see your grandchildren growing in the kitchen with you.
Yes, they do. They do. They're very special. I'm very blessed, you know. There are people in this world I feel for, friends of mine that don't have family and, you know, that are close. And mine, that I can't get rid of them. Like, they want me to be with them. And it makes me very happy that they want me to be in their light, you know. That's very nice.
We love you.
Oh, we got our first cry.
Yes. That's what happens is when I start talking, I get emotional. And
Grandma gets emotional. She has a big heart.
yeah.
You have a big heart.
No, I hear stories, you know, I'm going to be 77 in June, and I hear stories of people that I know that their families don't want them, or they're not welcome, or they can only go for a couple of hours, and it makes me so sad that people have to live like that, you know. If only everyone would just love each other, it would make a beautiful world for everybody. Just be tolerant of people you don't understand, or people that are different. Just be tolerant of everybody. My parents never taught me any prejudice, or we loved everybody, and if I ever envied anybody, I would get hit for that, because my mother would say, you don't envy, you be happy for that person if they had more than I did, because we didn't have a lot, but we had happiness. Wonderful. Wonderful. I had beautiful friends.
You had more than a shoebox with a string.
I had a shoebox with a string. That's another story. And I lived in the Bronx. Like I said, I lived in the Bronx. Dion lived in that area. Who else?
Dion from, what was the name of the band?
Dion the Belmonts. He came from my neighborhood.
And he dated your friend Chicky, right?
No, he didn't date her. No,
Oh,
in those
okay.
days you didn't date at that age.
Oh, okay.
He just used to come and sing. It was a nice neighborhood. Everyone was the same. There was no better, you're better than me or not. Everyone was equal. It was such a wonderful area. It was wonderful to be brought up like that. I wish my grandchildren could know that world. Very simple world. You were able to walk the streets at night. Nobody bothered you. It was just a beautiful time. Beautiful time of life.
Specifically, what type of seafood?
So LD asked for seafood recipes. Do you want to ask what type of seafood specifically she's
Yes.
interested?
Excuse me, what's the name, honey?
I think it was LD.
LD, can you tell me what type of seafood you'd like to see? Because I'll tell you, we make shrimp, calamari, bacala. Lisa, what else? Seafood salad.
That's the imitation crab.
Yeah.
The imitation crab meat salad. Oh, and this year I tried, and I'm going to make it next year, because a lot of people didn't get a chance to taste it. My mother used to make stuffed calamari and put it in a red sauce and serve it with pasta. And it was so, my son told me that it was so delicious they were eating the sauce. So next year, God willing, I'm going to make a lot of it. A lot of people didn't get a chance to taste it.
Yeah. It was a trial run.
Trial run, yeah, because I was afraid I wasn't going to make it right, but it came out delicious.
Yeah.
So next year. So if you like any of those items, like I said, I'm going to talk to my family, and if we can do a smaller version of what we do Christmas Eve, I think you would like it. I think it would be very good for you. Not many people do the 7 fishes, but that's my tradition, and I'd like to keep doing it. Yeah.
Do you want to ask them what they like to make? What kind of stuff?
Yeah, well, is there any special seafood that you like? Because I'll tell you, I've tasted octopus and I like it. I would never try to make that. That to me is something very hard to make. So I would never make that. But
what kind of recipes do you guys make on your own that you would maybe like to?
yeah, like stuff. My daughter-in-law and I, one year, we made a rolled, Lisa, was that flounder?
Yeah.
We made a stuffed flounder. We put crab meat in it, and we baked it with wine. What happened was, I make like 95 courses. So by the time that part of it came, nobody would eat it.
Everyone was
So
full.
we decided not to do it anymore because it's costly and it's a lot of work. So we decided to eliminate that one. But that's a good recipe also. what else is there? Filet of Sole. I've never tried to bake a fish with bones in it. I've never tried that. I'd be afraid to try that. But bacala comes boneless. You can buy fresh cod, which is just as good. And you can make cod just fillet with some lemon juice, make it into a salad. In fact, my son, a few weeks ago, called me up. He had to look at my recipe. He had bought bacala because he loves it, and he tried to make it for himself, and he made himself a salad. He soaked it the way I do for 3 days, and he said it came pretty good. So, you know, like I said, it's trial and error. Baking is different. Baking, you have to do exactly what it says, but cooking, you don't have to. It's what you like. If you like a little less garlic, a little more, it's to your discretion. And everyone can learn to cook. I feel everybody can be a good cook.
LD said, an everyday seafood meal using salmon or any white flaky fish. The 7-fish recipe sounds really yummy. And then she asked, do you make gelato?
No. Gelato I've never... And you want to know something? When I went to Italy, my daughter-in-law, my son, my daughter-in-law's mom, they all loved gelato, and I was the only one that didn't care for it.
Really?
I didn't like it. To me, it was like lemon ice. I didn't think it was anything special, but they loved it.
Oh.
Yeah.
We used to get it when we went to the Bronx, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And Tai said, do you like arancini? I don't know how to pronounce arancini.
Is that the rice balls?
Arancini is the rice balls, I believe. I've never tried them. I don't know if I'd be good at making that. I would love to try it.
That's interesting.
I'll have to look into different recipes and see. That's rice ball, I believe, with peas in it, and then you toast it in breadcrumbs, I believe, and then you fry it. I think I've had it at state, fair, when you go to a feast. I've had it, and it's pretty good, but I've never made that. See, most of cooking, I think, is what culture you've come from. Like Sicilian people do certain recipes certain way. Italian Barese do certain recipes. We're from Molise, which is Abruzzo, and my mother cooked a certain way. So that's what I was taught from. So that's what I only knew. Like when you go to someone else's house, you may taste some. Now, my mother made meatballs for my dad, which I couldn't stand, Sicilian-type meatballs that had raisins and pinoli nuts.
Wow.
She would make separate meatballs for my dad.
Is it sweet?
It's like a sweet, yeah, and I never cared for them. But I believe that is a Sicilian meatball. I believe that is a Sicilian meatball.
Patricia said, how do you make scallops? We love your recipes, Angie.
Scallops, my daughter-in-law, like I said, we don't fry anything anymore. So what we do, we get a little dish of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. We dip it in that, and then we dip it in the panko breadcrumbs. You can add some grated cheese to that if you like. And then we put it in the panko breadcrumbs. We put it on parchment paper, and we bake it in the oven. It is absolutely delicious. Last year, I think we bought 26, Lisa?
26 scallops? No. 26 what?
Scallops.
Yeah, at least. No, probably more than that, Graham.
We made more, yeah. I think we made 2 per person.
Yeah.
And everyone raved about the scallops.
50, maybe 50?
Yeah, maybe 50. Everyone raved. They said it was absolutely
That's
delicious.
Always a big hit. And you bread the shrimp too, right?
Bread the shrimp.
In panko breadcrumbs.
Yes, panko, but like I said, if somebody wants to add grated cheese to that to make it different, that's fine.
Why do you like panko? That's just your brand?
Panko, I started using panko as soon as they came out. The regular Italian breadcrumbs, to me, are very heavy, and they weigh something down. I don't care for them. The panko are very light, so it makes anything you're cooking very light, and to me it's much tastier. But you can use the regular breadcrumbs if that's what you prefer.
LD said, sometimes I get tired of tomato sauce, marinara sauce. Is there any other pasta sauces that you like to make?
You can make aglio olio, which is olive oil and garlic, which is a simple sauce. You can add a broth to that, a vegetable broth. You can add some white wine, some parsley, and then grated cheese, and have another sauce. There are a lot of sauces. I don't like Alfredo. I don't like that type of heavy sauces. But if you like that, you can make a vodka sauce where you would put some cream and vodka, and it would make it pink. I'm trying to.
Harry says hi.
Hi, Harry.
Harry says, "Hi, Mom Greco. This is Harry."
Hi, Harry. What do you want to eat, Harry?
So you tell Harry's a friend of ours.
Harry's a good friend of ours.
And
he loves to cook. Oh, polenta, too. Yeah, if you don't want pasta all the time, I don't know if you've ever made polenta. It's a cornmeal. And we make it a lot, and it's delicious. It's I think I have that on a video. Don't I have that on a video, Jonas?
Yes.
Polenta, yes.
Oh, Harry said he made polenta last night.
Yes.
He put smiley face.
Yes.
Did you use the video, Harry?
Did you watch my video, Harry? Because you're in trouble. You won't get dinner. But that's a nice substitute if you don't want to have pasta all the time. Or make a nice bean salad with celery and olives.
We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, with olive oil and lemon juice. That's a nice
we should do that. That's
substitute, yes.
Harry said, I watched it before, but not to make the polenta last night. LD said, love polenta with mushroom ragu.
Yes, you can make it with mushrooms, yes.
And she said she doesn't like Alfredo either. And Tai said she was wondering about how the locations in Italy would influence the culinary style, and she said that she's sure if you make something like arancini your way that she'll love it very much.
I'm going to try, honey. I don't know if I'll even be good at doing it. I've never done it before, and my mother never did it. So I wouldn't even know how to go about it. I'd have to look at recipes.
Experiment.
Yeah, but in Italy, what it is, as far as I know, I'm not that educated on everything, but different parts of Italy have different foods, and that's what they prepare. I think the southern part cook more Mediterranean, more olive oils, more lemons, and then I think what I'm saying is true. I'm not sure. And then other regions cook with more sauces. Then people that are by the water cook more seafood. And people that live in the farms, they have more, sheep and goats and things like that. But my mother was a very basic cook, but everything she made was so delicious. She was one of the best cooks I've ever.
Harry said, does Angie ever make puttanesca sauce?
I've made it a couple of times. My family are not that big on spicy foods.
Oh, is puttanesca spicy?
Puttanesca spicy, yes. And I've made it a couple of times, but it's not one of my family's favorites.
The capers, right?
No, that's the one it's very hot. You have to use hot.
No, you're thinking of Fra Diablo.
Yeah, Fra Diablo.
No, but puttanesca, if you ask Harry, I'm pretty sure puttanesca is heavy, is spicy.
I think it has capers in it, though.
Yes, it's got capers, yes.
A lot of olives.
Yes.
I don't think I've heard of spicy. Or maybe it's something else.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's different versions.
There's different versions, yes.
I don't know if Ben joined us, but Ben says, how do you pack so much greatness into that kitchen?
I love to cook, Ben. I could have one little closet and I'd cook. That's one of my pleasures of life. I've always loved to cook. I don't, like I said a million times.
Oh, Harry says puttanesca uses a little... I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. That's okay.
He says puttanesca uses a little red pepper flakes, but you can leave it out if you don't want it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I guess I've tasted when it was spicy.
Yeah,
But I just love to cook. Love to prepare. And I love to learn. I watch a lot of the cooking shows and I get a lot of hints and a lot of things that I use. So
who do you like to watch on the cooking show?
My favorite is Lydia. I love Lydia. I think
people compare you to her, right?
Yeah, a lot of people said I look like I wish, but you're always learning. You always can learn. My mother used to have a saying that the old lady didn't want to die because she had a lot to learn.
She still had more to learn.
And she still had more to learn. And I basically always look at that. I always feel like somebody knows a little bit more than I do.
Harry said Lydia rules.
Lydia rules. She's my favorite. But there's a lot of good cooks. Huh?
You used to like Rachel Ray, right? Not anymore?
There's certain ones that...
Controversy.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I like them all. I love to watch them all. But Lydia is basically my kind of cooking. It's a basic, simple cooking.
Oh,
Kester remembers.
What?
Kester said, "Don't say capers. Your grandkids are there. They'll be in your
I know.
pantry."
See? I had to buy. Listen, what's your name again?
Kester, that's hilarious.
Listen, Kester. I had to go to Arthur Avenue. That's where I come from. I bought the biggest jar they have. I literally have to yell at them because they would eat that whole jar. And it was $7.99 unless you guys want to pay for it.
It was expensive capers.
Expensive capers.
Run you out of house and home.
That's right.
Capers.
Yeah, I was making a recipe. Well, I was carbonara. The day we were making carbonara.
Yeah.
And they ate almost all of them. I had like 4 to put in the recipe. I said, where are all the capers?
By the time we were cooking with them.
Yeah, they
done.
ate them all. That's not nice. I'm going to beat them up.
I'm sure we're not the only ones who like to eat capers straight.
But you don't eat capers when Grandma needs them for a recipe.
I know.
Okay.
Tai said, "We remember how much your grandchildren love capers, LOL."
See? They all see you, so they can't lie.
Does anyone else eat capers straight, or is it just us?
No.
Just
You're
us?
the only abnormal guys.
Just us. Kester said I laughed so hard.
Yes. No, it's so sad because
We cause a little bit of mischief.
I
in the
know they
kitchen
do. I love them, but I could still beat them up. Not the one that's 5'10" and a half. He towers over me. I have to beat his kneecaps. I'm going to have to beat him at the kneecaps. But,
He's still helpful, though. We like to help you out.
no, but if there's anything, like I said, if there's anything you would like to see that I will try, I'll try anything as far as cooking.
Harry said, caper straight is bleh.
He doesn't like it.
I love capers. LD said, I love capers, but not
Just out of
just
the
out
jar.
of the jar.
Yeah, they eat them out of the jar.
Just you, honey. Kester's so funny.
Are there any other foods that
Kester's
make you
hilarious.
Now you know what I go through when I cook here. I have to beat them off with a stick.
You want to read that one, James?
Are there any other foods that they make in your hometown in Italy?
Like foods that are kind of like besides the polenta.
What I didn't enjoy, and my daughter-in-law will agree with me, their meat is like my cousin said to us one day, "I'll be right back. I have to go get tomorrow's dinner." So we thought.
Didn't they ask us if we wanted chicken or beef?
Yeah.
And
She
we said
says
chicken.
chicken. So she says I have to go to get it. So we thought she was going to a store or something. She went in the backyard to kill her chicken, and I found that their meat was tough. It wasn't tasty the way our meat is here. So I didn't really enjoy the meat. But they cook a lot of pasta. Their pastas were delicious. I believe they made fish, right, Lisa?
Yes.
They made a couple of fish dishes which were very tasty. Torta. My cousin made this magnificent baked cake. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. Look, came out of a bakery. She baked it. But they cook very simple. But I didn't care for the meat dishes they made. To me, it wasn't tasty. But maybe it was just that area. I don't know. But also, we went to a restaurant, and I thought I was being served prosciutto. It was prosciutto with capers and olive oil. And then my daughter-in-law turned around and she says, "No, that's carpaccio." Carpaccio.
What's that?
And that was the first time I tried it. It's a very thin slice of beef with olive oil and cake. It was absolutely delicious. I had never had that before, so that was a first time. But they have very simple food, and it was very good. Everything else was fine. I just didn't care for their meat.
Harry said, carpaccio.
Oh, so he's had that, yeah. He's had that. Yeah, there's a lot of dishes. There's so many things you can make today. There's so much more in the markets now that my daughter, I love her to death, but if you ask my daughter to pick up one thing, she'll pick 90 of that thing. So I had asked her I wanted a few different mushrooms I wanted to cook. Well, she must have come home with every mushroom that they ever created, that God ever put on the earth. There must have been 90 pounds of mushrooms.
Oh my God.
And I did cook them all, and some I liked.
You could do a taste test of mushrooms.
Yes, some I liked and some I didn't care for. But there's so much variation. I remember Jack, who's that chef, French chef? Jacques Pepin. He said that when he first came to this country, there was only one type of mushroom. It was the button mushroom. And now look what's out there. There's so much for us to pick from. And there's stores that serve so many different vegetables. I went to a Chinese restaurant this weekend with my son and some friends of theirs. And I saw this plate of what looked like spinach, to me, looked like spinach. And it was delicious. And I said, what is this? And it was turnip. No. What was it, Lisa?
Pea pod tips.
Pea pod tops. Pea pod tops.
Leaves.
Leaf
Pea pod leaves.
Pea pod leaves.
Leaf tips.
Leaf tips. It was absolutely delicious. I hadn't even seen them before.
You said they were very hard to get.
Very hard to get. But they were delicious. I've never seen them before. They're very, very tasty. So every day there's something new coming out or something new that you taste.
Harry said, my mom used to make a dish with eggplant, mozzarella, and Parmesan cheese cooked in the oven slow and then add vinegar and keep cooking. It's got quite a punch. Have you ever made something like that?
No. But also, Harry, at this restaurant we went to last night, which I'm going to try to duplicate, they made eggplant strips. I guess they brined it, made sure they took all the bitterness out of it, kept the skin on, and then used chili oil, garlic, sauteed it until it was soft. It was absolutely delicious. So he told me that they do have sweet chili oil, which I found tonight. They do sell it. But if you like a little spicy, I guess you could use the spicy chili oil. It was very good. Everything I tasted was so good.
Harry said he thinks the recipe is a Sicilian thing, the one his mom used to make.
No, my mother never made anything.
But he said the thing you just described sounds really good and he would try it.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, Harry, you're going to take me to dinner. I'll tell you where to take me. It's called I Fish in Tenafly.
What are there any foods? Where is it? What is the worst meal you ever made?
The worst meal? Well, I'll tell you what happened to me. When I first got married, my father was like my idol. I mean, I always wanted to make sure he was happy and pleased with whatever I did. And he was coming to my house for dinner. And I was so afraid it was going to be late. It wasn't going to be on time. And I had made sauce because my father liked that and he loved his pasta. And I picked up the pot with the water, and it wasn't really quite boiling, but I said to myself, I don't want my father to wait. It's okay. I'll just put it in now. It'll be fine. And my husband, my father and I sat down to dinner, and I was wondering why my father was picking at the meat and not eating his pasta. And my husband kept looking at me. He didn't want to hurt my feelings.
43.
But I didn't know at that time that if you didn't have the fervent boil of pasta, it wouldn't cook. It tasted like glue. So that was the most embarrassing thing that happened to me.
Deborah Ferranda. Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
She said, hi, Angie. What is on your usual menu for Palm Sunday or Easter?
Palm Sunday, I'll tell you what my mother's menu was because we don't really celebrate like they did years ago. Palm Sunday, my mother would always start with antipasto, soup, pasta, a basic pasta. Usually a chicken soup like the meatball soup with the escarole. Pasta, she'd have...
Like the Italian wedding soup? Like Italian
Yeah, the Italian wedding soup. She'd have pasta, meatballs and spare ribs. And then she'd usually make a roast. It would probably be, I don't even want to know, I don't remember if it was a roast beef or, because she made lamb. The following Sunday we had leg of lamb. That was tradition. Easter was always, she'd make omelets for breakfast. I did that for a while with my children, but it got to be too much because then you had to have dinner. And by the time dinner came, you weren't hungry because you had so many things for breakfast.
She used to make a big breakfast with all the pies.
All the pies and the omelets and all that. And then you had all the stuff, the food, and then like a lamb and potatoes and salad. And then at 7 o'clock she'd say, take out the sandwiches. And we'd have sandwiches and pastry and fruit.
Oh my God.
So that's the way, that's the way I was brought up, to make sure you always had plenty of food on the table. You had enough for about 10 people to come. And that's what, that's what my mother did, and that's what we did.
What about Good Friday, when you don't eat meat?
Good Friday, you weren't allowed to, we weren't allowed to put TV on. We weren't allowed to sing, put the radio on. No meat, very little eating.
So what did you eat on that Good Friday?
Good Friday, maybe we had a little fish at night, but very little. You didn't eat a lot of meals. Good Friday was very...
Like kind of fasting a little bit?
Yes, mostly fasting.
If you could only have one meal every day for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh my God, it's like me, it's like me. I'm a lover of pizza. I love pizza. And I'm a food eater. I'm not a sweet eater. I'm a food eater. I like a basic meal, like a pork chop or a little piece of steak, a baked potato. I love baked potatoes. And like I said, a vegetable, broccoli rabe or escarole, Swiss chard, anything like that. And a nice salad. That would be a basic meal. But I could eat pizza 24 hours a day. I love pizza. And thin and well done. That's the only way I'll eat it.
Oh, if it's not thin and well done, you should
If it's not thin and well done, I won't eat it. I'll throw it out.
Oh, no.
Has to be thin and well done.
Tai said, do you have a recipe for pork chops bone-in? With the bone-in?
Yes. There are two ways my mother made pork chops. One was with cherry peppers. The cherry peppers are round. I buy the sweet. They're quite hard to find. And what she would do is brine. You have to brine any kind of meat. So that would be salt and water. Brine the pork chops for a few hours. Rinse them off. Dry them. And then get a little olive oil. Saute them. And as you saute them, put some onion and cherry peppers and some of that juice. And cover the pan. And let them cook. And then I like them crispy, so I would cook them a little longer. But when you see that there's no pink, they're done, and they're delicious. And the other way I've done them is to egg and bread them. Dip them in egg, dip them in panko breadcrumbs, a little grated cheese. And those you can pan fry, or you can also put those in the oven and bake them.
Cool. Harry said, what does well done mean for pizza? Does it mean it's crispy?
It means it's thin, paper thin, and crispy. Like when you go to cut the edge, it breaks. That means it's got to be crispy. Chips, yeah.
Yeah. Not floppy pizza.
No, I won't eat it.
No floppy.
I won't eat it. If it's floppy, I won't eat it. I like crispy things.
Do we have a pizza video?
Yes, right? I did a pizza video. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's with the dough. Right?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, if you look at if you want to know about pizza, and also the calzones, it would be the basic pizza dough. You cut it into pieces as to what you want the calzone to be. If you want a big one, then you cut, like, let's say, a circle, and you put your stuffing of pepperoni or mozzarella and grated cheese. Make sure it's sealed. Put a little water around it, and make sure it's sealed, and then get a fork and put the fork around it. Pierce the top so it doesn't blow up, and put it on a baking sheet, and you can bake it. Yeah, calzones I used to make all the time.
Tai said, thanks so much for sharing the pork chop recipe. She will try it tomorrow.
Good.
And then Terry said, you don't like Sicilian pizza?
Very little. I'd rather have the thin and well done. I'll eat it, but I'd rather have the thin and well done. That's my favorite.
Kester says, I'm from Poughkeepsie, New York, and I'm now living in Georgia, and there's no good food. I miss my New York pizza.
Oh, come down. Come over to my house, and I'll cook for you.
So I miss New York pizza, and okay, everything. I will take any shipment of anything good. They don't know how to eat down here.
No, I know. You know what you have to do? Learn how to cook and open up a nice restaurant.
Aww.
And invite me. I'll come to see it.
Aww.
Yeah, I always dreamed. That was my dream, to have a restaurant, but my daughter-in-law says I would die because I'm
a lot of stress.
Very impulsive, and I have to have everything done a certain way, so I don't think I'd be too good. But that was a dream of mine, to have a restaurant. Yeah, wow. I love to cook.
So we're approaching the 1 hour mark. How do you feel about your first live broadcast?
It's exciting. I mean, I was very scared when my grandson told me we were going to do this. I was very scared. But it seems like I'm just talking in my house, so I feel okay with it. But,
oh, wow. Tai said Kester is right. It's so hard to find good food in Georgia. We're originally from Florida.
Oh,
so it seems like Georgia needs to get their foods act
You know what? You have to come back up to the Bronx. That's where you have to come. Where I come from, originally, you have to look it up on Google. Do they look it up on Google?
Yeah, I guess so.
Look up Arthur Avenue in the Bronx. You'll see all the... I don't know. See, they're making fun of me because I don't know what I'm saying.
Grandma's still learning about technology.
Yes. And that's the neighborhood that I come from. And, you know, everything is there. All the Italian breads and foods and mozzarellas. And let me tell you something. Title Brothers is where I go get my... tomatoes. I believe they deliver it. Lisa, don't they deliver?
I think they do ship, Graham.
They do ship. Title Brothers in the Bronx.
So is Borgatti's.
Borgatti's, they ship ravioli. Yes.
Maybe you should spell it.
I'm gonna write it out. Borgatti?
Borgatti is Borgatti. That's fresh pasta and ravioli. I think they make their own sauce also.
Yeah, they ship now.
So I just typed in the chat Title Brothers where she gets the tomatoes.
Title
and
Brothers.
They have cheese and
T-E-I.
Oh, T-E-I?
T-E-L.
T-E-I-T-E-L.
Brothers.
Yes.
Brothers. And Borgatti's is the ravioli.
Ravioli.
Well, they not just ravioli. They have good ravioli, but they also have other pasta.
Oh yeah, they have all kinds of
fresh pasta. You could when you go, it's so cool. You can put this. You see them put the sheets of pasta in the shredder, and they see them
every Sunday when we went to church after mass, we'd cross the street and get the pasta for our dinner. That's what we did.
Oh, Harry said, "I have to go. Thanks, Mom G. It was fun to have this fireside chat."
Aw.
Very cute.
I'll see you Sunday, Harry.
And LD said, "You did a great job. I enjoyed this." Tai Tai said, "So happy you did this live show. Much success to you."
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you want to have a last sign off then? A final sign off, or just say anything, and then we'll head.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. Oh, is that what you call it? Tuning in?
Yeah, I guess you could call it that.
That's good.
For tuning into my chat line.
Live stream.
Live stream. And it was lovely talking to everybody. And, if anybody wants to answer any more questions, they can...
Next time we do a live
Next
stream,
time we do it.
Or any comments on videos. We always look through the comments.
Yes, and we're going to try. Like, if there's certain recipes you want, like I said, I'm not perfect at everything, but I will certainly try it for you.
Oh, Deborah said, "Sorry I caught you so late." That's okay. Next time, Deborah.
I'll be on again, Deborah. Don't worry. They're gonna make me stay here forever.
And someone wants to know if you'll post this broadcast after it's done, so everyone can see it later.
Yes, right.
Where do you post?
You tell them that after
this
is over, this will be posted on your YouTube channel, so you could watch the whole video like a regular YouTube video.
Oh. Okay.
So it's there.
I guess they said they're going to post this on my video thing.
It's going to become a video on your YouTube channel.
It's going to be on my YouTube channel, right?
You're so cute, Graham. On my video thing. All right, Jonas.
You see what they do to me?
All right, so say thank you.
Thank you. It was lovely talking to everybody. Goodbye now.